And we are live. I am here with the creative fairy godmother. She is one half of the dynamic duo who is doing a plus size posing workshop with a portion of the proceeds going to the She Projects podcast. But deeper than that, Amanda Sweet is someone that we know in community that is a force for good, who is sharing her personal lived experience and story. She is also a voluptuous Miss Michigan. She has been touring. She has also been curating events such as the Revamp, an amazing, I would say, uh, swapapalooza, if you will.
I
You can
love
use
it.
it. You take that. It's a clothing swapapalooza, where any and everything that you can think of is there present. She has it wonderfully sized. She has live performances. But of course, for us who have more fruit on the bottom, please donate your clothing. And so that's part of the reason why she is here today, to inspire, to really center the curvy woman or curvy person, because we believe in the full expression of our humanity. So no matter what your gender identity is or your pronouns or your orientation, we really believe that everybody is beautiful. And so Amanda's going to share with you more about this amazing event that she is doing with her Wonder Twin Activate, Dell, who is an amazing photographer, but why we need community. Amanda has always shown up and shown out, particularly for women, particularly for those who are at the margins, sort of like fringe folks. And I think that it's important for fringe folks to feel like they're centered and that they're seen. So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda to tell you more about this amazing workshop and where the creative inspiration came from. Because again, your creative fairy godmother has no shortage of creative ideas. But Amanda, thank you so much for being here with me today. And please take it away. Tell us about the inspiration for this event that is happening this Saturday.
This Saturday. Okay, well, Brenda, thank you for being you in the world at the same time as me. Doing what you do is always an inspiration. We need, as creatives, as event people, as activators, we also need to see our peers doing the same thing, which is a motivator, a contributor to the work that we're doing. So I've been seeing you pushing this project for a couple weeks now. And, every time I see this from other people, I always get in my head, I'm like, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. I get in my head about my capabilities. How can I solve this problem? I can't give you $20,000, but what can I do? I can do what I love. I can bring people together. I can make things, and I could do it in a way that parties with the purpose, which has always been my motto. I love, like, thinking about activism. I love to come at it from this like guise of fun, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like activism doesn't have to look like our stereotypical version of what it looks like. And for me, when I thought about activism, community service, volunteerism, I thought about my past lived experience, which was, cleaning up garbage on the side of the highway and doing things that were not fun and didn't fuel my inner passions. And when I started the revamp, I was like, oh, wow, we can do volunteer work in alignment with our life's mission, our passion, our industry. And a lot of my community was like, I didn't know volunteering could be fun. I'm like, it can be fun and then some. And one of the things that we do through the revamp is we do a brand ambassador program. So a majority of our volunteers are also our models. So they act as our brand ambassadors. And we got some feedback recently that we have not as much plus size clothing in the clothing swap festivals as we'd like. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what could we do to get more people that look like me, that look like others in the marketing? Because a lot of it is in the marketing. And I noticed a lot of our plus size baddies will sign up and then not come to the content shoot day. And I was thinking about myself, if I was in their shoes, if I was uncomfortable, or if I hadn't had a lot of practice, and I'm about to go into a content shoot day with 75 other people, what's going to get in my way? Is it practice? Is it seeing other bodies that look like me? Is it understanding how to move my body? Am I about to jump into the situation where everybody's a pro and I'm not? And I've done the plus size posing with other bodies that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple people have asked for me to bring it back. And I was like, okay, well, now's the time. We need to build a little bit of a pipeline and create a space for larger body people to come and practice at a more intimate situation and get their feelers ready, get their feelers going. I know for me, like Brenda, I know you love to get in front of the camera too, but that takes practice. It takes practice to look effortless. It
Mhm.
takes practice to be comfortable in the movement of your body. So we thought, why not create a space for it? Let's bring the plus size posing workshop back. Let's create a space for us to just move and jiggle around and be as beautiful and big as we want to be and give them the practice. Like, and I keep getting these messages like, I'm not plus size or I'm mid size and I want to come. And so I always put it at the bottom. It's like plus size centered, but inclusive to all. Like everybody's welcome.
I love that.
Yeah, I
Well,
feel
hold
like,
on, just one. So hold on.
yeah,
Wait a minute, because you dropped a truth bomb
bring
and
it
a
back.
love center just like that. We cannot gloss over that. Let's hold on, just pause for the
Bring it
cause.
back.
Yeah, we got to bring it back for just a moment because I think you named something that is super important, especially for the time and space that we're in when we think about marginalized identities. So, plus size centered, Black, brown centered, queer centered, or differently able or disability centered. I think that it's important that you name that so people see that just because we're centering one group doesn't mean that we're excluding another. We're just thinking about with empathy and with heart who is usually bypassed, who is usually not included. And if you think about the marginalization of identities, but then move them to the center, typically then everyone benefits.
Yeah, 100%.
So
And
I
I'm
have
glad
to
that
love
you
you for
named
just
it
a
like that.
second.
I
Yeah, and
feel like
bring
I
it.
see this on a lot of like black and brown specifically like activism work where it's like for this group but all are welcome. I think I saw recently Kari Frazier posted something on Detroit is Different that it said something like focus towards the black community, all are welcome, or something of that nature. So I've been seeing it in the ethos, in the ecosystem for a long time. And when I first did the plus size posing workshop, I got that question a lot. And I'll tell you right now, if I said posing workshop, we would have been full the first day, but it would have been a demographic that doesn't actually need the extra help, right? Not that they don't need the extra help, but there's already curated spaces for them.
That's
And
right.
so for me, living in a plus size body and having the life experience of modeling, of being a brand ambassador, entertainer, actress, speaker, host, doing all of those things in this size body, there's not a lot of platforms for us to go air out our dirty laundry. You'd be like, these are the things that bother me in a safe, judgment free space where we can talk it through and then work to your strengths and like give you words of affirmation and tools to use for the things that are making you uncomfortable. Because the fact of the matter is, we need to see your body on the internet. We need to see people that look like you in the marketing. We need to see, because the fact of the matter is, if I don't have a wide range of diversity in my marketing for the clothing swap festivals, then
Mhm.
those people that don't see themselves will think that they're not invited, and that is not the case. That is not the case. So
That's
for
right.
me, that was the big draw for it because I've gone to posing workshops and modeling camps and things like that, and like I'll be the only one, or one of two, or one of three, because
Right.
everybody else thought they weren't invited, but that's not true.
And I think you're doing something really powerful. Even in the advertisement, your body, Dell's body. And so let's also center too that both of you all are Asian American women. And again, when we talk about representation in the larger context in the modeling world, again, these are not typically the faces that we see. It's usually tall, thin, white, blonde is still the preferred aesthetic. But you have come along with this beautiful upset
Yeah.
that disrupts any preconceived notion about what we think beautiful is. And I think beautiful, at least in the context that you've presented and in the context that Dell has presented, beauty is the human form, period. Like that's what's
Period.
beautiful. Your human body is beautiful.
It is. And the fact that we exist on the plane together at the same time is such a gift. And to let a larger capitalistic idea of
Mhm.
what is supposed to be enjoyable and enjoyed and loved and adored
That's right.
dictate what we can and cannot do is just not, it's not fun for nobody. It's not fun for nobody. So just like you said, it, what benefits a marginalized group benefits the greater majority. And a lot of people have been messaging me saying, I don't consider myself plus size, but I totally resonate with the marketing and I don't know what to do with my hands in front of pictures. And I have a business and I have a brand and I want to get comfortable and more confident in this
Right.
space of creating and curating content. I'm like, come through.
Come
Because
through.
the reality is, we need you, the person on the other side of the phone that is too scared to press record or too uncomfortable to hit post or overthinking the way that they look, sound, feel. You're depriving the rest of the world of what your mission is. And if you're afraid to get on camera and it's the camera that's stopping you, you're getting in your own way. We need you. You're being selfish with your content. We need you to share it because we need the message. We need your talent. We need your vision. We need your story. We need your life experience. And we can't let a camera be the thing that stops it.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's right. And you're always tying yourself, and I want to name this too, to other causes. So, you know, I know for sure at the revamp, the clothing that doesn't find another home goes to other organizations that need clothing. There's a startling statistic that you've shared um, around how many pounds of clothing goes into a landfill every year and how much just one revamp actually saves the planet. So, if you could talk a little bit more about, again, of course, we want people to get their tickets for Saturday. So, I did put, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put it here too. I want people to get their tickets, put in the comment section so you can get your tickets. So if you're listening live, you can go ahead and get your tickets. And as we stated, a portion of the proceeds will go to the She Project. We are a little better than so we have 4,000 yet 4,000 4,500. Let me get it right. $4,500 to go, and I believe that we can get that in the next 7 days. Yes, we're almost. So you single-handedly are actually, from this event would actually take care of the 500 part. So like that. So
That's cool.
please sign up and go. But I also want to center again the other organizations that you've been able to support. So if you can name some of those organizations that have benefited from the revamp.
Oh, 100%. Well, I just have to say, any gathering of humans, one, two, or more, you can make local impact, which becomes global impact. So, partying with a purpose, gathering with intention has always been a part of the way that I live my life. And it stems from so many different things. But I realize that our superpower is like realizing that we do make a difference and our actions do have a ripple effect. And we can change the world. So through the plus size posing workshop, we were like, how can we make this initiative impactful? I saw your messages going around. I was like, what can I possibly do? And I was like, yeah, we can just redirect some of these. At first, I was like, oh, we should have everybody bring like period products or something. And I was like overthinking it. I was overthinking. And I saw your message come through to one of our mutual friends, Betsy from the lawn next door. And I was like, that's the one. It's perfect. We're focused on media. We're focused on women. We're focused on Black and brown women. We're focused on a marginalized group. This totally makes sense. And it was such an easy thing. And so with the clothing swap, with the revamp, I'm like, I don't have a place to put all of this extra clothing, like, let alone, like, I'm not going to throw it in the garbage. So, like, giving it away, it was such an easy, quick decision that it just made sense. And I think for just to push everybody else, like, think about your programming, think about your businesses, think about your ecosystem, and what can you do to add that party with the purpose edge.
Mhm.
um, but some of the groups that we donate to, Destined for Greatness, UNIC, I can put a bunch of links in there. Raise Hope for Thrift. We have a bunch of smaller organizations that will pop in and out as needed. So a couple of groups that'll just look for prom dresses, a couple of small groups that are just looking for business clothing. Some people are looking for just men's, kids. So we cycle out. We always open up the the beneficiary program application for every swap. So our next swap is going to be September 13th at Detroit Shipping Co. So we're actively looking for nonprofits, organizations, mutual aid groups that are looking for clothing, shoes,
Look,
accessories.
I got you. Mama Cool House is down the street from the Detroit Shipping Co. Like it's so close, so I'll do an introduction.
Yes.
Yes, and it's like on Ferry. So literally around the corner from Henry Ford Hospital. That's nowhere like
Yes.
it's like
That's the other part. Like, I don't know who I don't know. And
yeah.
there's so many groups out there that need help. And I'm just like, we have, like you were saying, we bring in about, it's growing every time, about 10,000 pounds in per swap. And we're donating about 25 to 30% of that product. It gets swapped in the middle and then we donate the leftover. So like 10,000 pounds, like 25, 30% of that is a significant amount. And usually, lately, we've been overwhelming our nonprofits. So we need more people to donate to. Realistically, we need more.
Well, yeah, so we'll definitely make that happen. In fact, I'm gonna tag our brother uh Yusef Shakur
Yes. What's
check
up?
this, yeah, to check this out because again, I know how important clothing is, especially being a former educator inside, Title One schools. When Christmas came around, holidays came around, sometimes, we would get a tap or a nudge that there were certain families that needed some extra love, that, needed things that sometimes we might take for granted, toiletries, like you said, period products, for people who menstruate. And again, these are super simple things. And I know many of us, fast fashion, it can be really easy to acquire, but then it's also really easy for us to get rid of because it piles up in our closets. And we're like, okay, so what do we do? And we want to be good stewards of the land. So Amanda's helping that happen. So we got a future date for the revamp. So that is already on the books. So that's the 13th. So definitely look to my page. I'll be promoting that. And then, of course, this Saturday, get your ticket. She said everybody is welcome, though the plus size body will be centered in this. So all of my PR girlies, my brand ambassadors, our future brand ambassadors, if this is something that you want, especially if you know that you spend a good amount of money on a particular product, show it off. Yes, earn your commission, but also, show you off.
Yes.
Stand in your beauty, stand in your boldness, stand in it. And what a worthy cause. So this again is going to happen this Saturday, and a portion of the proceeds will go back to the She Project, was a mentoring organization that is out of Mariners End, originally founded for the daughters of the men who are in recovery. It has now expanded to be more inclusive of any girl between the ages of 13 and 24. In fact, some of them are working with GDYT, so Grow Detroit Young Talent. Yeah, so our girls will also be able to get a stipend yep, they'll be able to get a stipend, yeah, for hosting their podcast. Everyone on the production team is Black. So myself, we have Damon and his daughter, who is a student at Wayne State University in broadcast journalism, to Crackers in Soup, a Black woman who is raising 3 Black boys. So she understands. So everyone understands implicitly just how important amplifying the voices of girls, and in particular the voices of Black girls. So they are running the show. They're going to do everything from the music, the content creation, to guests that they want to interview, and the whole format over the course of 6 weeks. And that time is going to go by so fast. But
Oh my God.
what? Oh, not just resume, but confidence booster, because every last one of them said they were so nervous to speak. They were so nervous, yet their brilliance just shined through. They were just absolutely just themselves. And I think, Amanda, with you pouring in, in this way, and again, having opportunities for them to meet, I think Detroit has some of the most, I think, not just powerful and influential women, but I think there's a heart here that exists too. Like
Yeah.
there's a love, there's a natural love. Like anytime I've ever asked for an adult partner or an adult woman to come and speak, it happens so instantaneous.
Well, there's always been something so special about Detroit, the women in Detroit. And I'm getting like all choked up thinking about like how impactful this program is going to be for these girls. Is like, if I had that at 14, I probably would have, my life probably would have looked different, you know? Um, I'm happy for the way that my life looked at, because like right now I get to be with you and get to say like, we're going to raise money for this organization, right? But like, at that age, that's like when we learned that our bodies weren't good enough. That's when we were told we
Mhm.
don't fit. That was when it was like built into us and cracked down on us that our voices are too loud, or we're too this, or we're too much that, or whatever. And like, it just was such a perfect alignment and like perfect timing that I'm like, the women that the folks that show up on Saturday are doing the thing that their 14-year-old self was told they weren't allowed to do, right?
Mhm.
And that's the reason why they're feeling uncomfortable. That's the reason why they're feeling hesitant to get in front of the camera. That's the reason why they don't post the pictures or delete them right away. That's the reason, because somebody told them once upon a time that their body was too much, or their energy was too big, or they were too whatever.
To
But
whatever.
like, I want it. Like, bring it, because like that's what we need, to make space for people like that, so these girls can see us taking back our power on air, on camera, and saying, I can do it, so you can do it.
That's right.
And my ticket is going towards your program. And I do realize that the ticket price is high. We have heavily discounted our regular rates to bring this to the table. And I do want to tangent, if the price is too high, message me. If the price is too high, message me. If
If you want to pay for someone, message her, because you
if
may not be able to make it, but you can definitely buy a ticket. And maybe you can buy 3 or 4 tickets for someone that couldn't ordinarily afford it. Just had to put that out there.
just gotta put it, it's like, as creatives and empathic people, like you, like myself, like Del, we want to give back, but we also got to eat too. So like, we had to figure out the way to do it that makes the most sense, but we have a free option. So if you don't want to come to the posing workshop, our brand ambassador application for the revamp is open. We just do it on a much bigger scale, and you also get free clothes. And so there's an avenue that you can practice your presence and your energy and the courageousness that it takes to show up. I think that's also part of it. It takes courage to push through that voice in your head that's not yours, that doesn't belong to you, that's telling you like, just don't go. Just don't go. That is somebody else's. And the practice of buying the ticket, getting ready, showing up, and doing the damn thing is an act of rebellion and an act of force towards what you want to do. So it may seem frivolous, it may seem silly to do like a posing workshop. Oh, we're going to just be like taking pictures. Like, no, 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 no. It's so much bigger than that.
Yeah,
And you stepping into the building and claiming that the space is for you,
that's
regardless of what you look like, regardless of where you came from, regardless of what you do. I don't care if you're a biomedical engineer and you want to come in here and be seen by someone, like, that is important. That is important. So
it is. It's super important. And so I, of course, could talk to you forever, Amanda, but I want to thank you so much for taking your time out, today, as I know you are super busy with all of your creative endeavors and projects. And of course, congratulations on the new role within the bamboo ecosystem, over sales. That is not a lightweight responsibility at all. So I definitely want to say congratulations again on that, but also this event that's coming this Saturday. So again, if you're under the sound of our voice, whether you're catching this live, so I want to shout out to Melissa Halpin, who is a mutual friend of ours. She said here, 2 of my favorite women. You are definitely one of our favorite humans. So thank you so much for tuning in. But please, if you're catching this on a replay, repost, reshare, get your ticket, or purchase a ticket for someone else and encourage your friend group, because I mean, we're all in group chats, right? So like, talk to your group chat, throw this in. We all have that friend that aspires towards something, and I know we have that friend that definitely should be modeling. She loves, or they love clothing, they love fashion, they're so heavily influenced, by it. And so maybe this is their time. Like, this is the sign from the universe for them to go ahead and just take the leap. And we know who they are. So just say, hey, friend, I know you've been posing, you've got your selfie game on lock, but I think you're ready to take it further. Hey, I got a ticket for you. You're going. That can happen too. So we want to be open to infinite possibilities on how people can get there. But understand that when they get there, they're also going to amplify the voices of these amazing, young women, to whom I want to shout out Michaela, Amina, and Mariah, who are the voice of She Speaks Now. So that's the podcast that is coming. we're so excited about what they have to say. The voices, they're developing everything from the inside out. And again, how powerful is that to be, 18, 12, 13, 14 years old, and you can say, like, I'm a podcast producer. I've produced my
Yeah.
own pod, right? How cool is that? And then, of course, shout out to Mariners Inn, who has for decades been doing an amazing job around helping, particularly men, through their sobriety journey and wholeness. And I know sometimes addiction can be such a complex conversation. It's not the sexy, like, hey, people want to necessarily be surrounded by it, but it's so important because any one of us has some form, whether it's food, sex, alcohol, what we all have. Everybody has a vice, but
Mhm.
this program specifically targets and supports men. And I love that this organization thought enough to think of their daughters as well, because there is sort of that ripple impact that addiction has on families. And so there was a consecrated effort to think about the girls, the daughters of these men, to also restore balance and wholeness back to the family. And I know it does, it really does. Like when you think about it, it kind of does get you like a little verklempt, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So much bigger than all the girls that are going to be watching these girls and all of the people, all of it's so much bigger than the right here right now, but the right here right now is also very big.
It's
It is very.
very big. Yeah,
So
so
kudos
we
to you, Brenda, for showing up for us constantly, creating spaces like this, tapping people in, getting us connected with our other networks, helping our businesses grow, helping us lean into our heart and our spirits. Like you do that every day. And I'm so grateful to have you in my life, in my world. Like you're doing it. You're
it's
doing it.
same. And so, anything that I can do to support you, I mean, I'm down, like, 10 toes down on it in terms of the support. So, Good Humans, please get your ticket for this weekend. I cannot thank Amanda enough for the time, and of course Dell too,
Shout out to
for
them.
collaborating, on this, because this is just super important, and it's going to go beyond, just the here and now. And just Saturday, you're again helping to create an ecosystem of, it's like a mixture, right? It's entrepreneurship, it's social impact, it's civil, engagement. It's like it's all the things. It's thinking about our
Creativity.
creativity,
Yeah.
spirituality. Like it's everything that makes us human
Yes.
is really what this is. This is everything that we need as human beings to feel home and safe in our bodies, to have the agency to be fully expressed, to take our voices, even though they might crack a bit, and say, this is what I believe in and this is what I stand for, and to have a community to witness you in all of that. I mean, what a time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So thank you. So again, Amanda Sweet, thank you so much for being here. Get your tickets. The link is right here in the comments. And please share, share, share some more. Repost, repurpose, all of the things, right? So that we can not only amplify the voices of these girls, but also help people to feel more at home in their bodies. So Amanda, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Love you so much. And I'll see you very soon. All right. Bye for now. Peace, everybody.